Hey, good afternoon, good evening. It's your boy Terrence Cummings, aka the Music Master, coming from lovely Tupelo, Mississippi, home of Tupelo Music Academy, Team Music Masters. I'm your guy, Terrence Cummings, aka the Music Master. This is the Music is Life podcast, brought to you by Tupelo Music Academy. Hey, tonight we have a great podcast. Have a what I consider a music master on the interview tonight. Y'all gonna enjoy it. I know he's gonna drop some gems for the M Tribe, for the community. I reached out to him, and he was so gracious to give us the time. And but before I bring our guest on, we do have just a few announcements from Tupelo Music Academy. We are so geared up in the month of September. God has blessed us at the Academy. I'm definitely always appreciative. And with this year, it's been a year. It's been a great year. There are a lot of things that have occurred, and it's just kind of how some things have occurred in my life and how things have occurred at the Tupelo Music Academy. We were blessed in that time period, and it just kind of worked all together. And with that, we are getting ready for our grand opening. It is at the end of this month at 3 p.m. It's symbolic of the time we moved in to our location last year, but we have joined in with the city, and we're going to do an official grand opening. Something I've always wanted to do for the school. We're going to do it with the city of Tupelo. We're going to cut the ribbon. So all my friends and family, I'm inviting you out on September the 30th, which is at the very end of the month. It's on a Monday, 3 p.m. We're going to have some refreshments, but it's just an opportunity to celebrate Tupelo Music Academy with my great staff, the parents who have supported us, and the students and the community, my family members and my friends who have supported us. We want you to come out that day, September 30th, 3 p.m. We're going to celebrate our grand opening, Tupelo Music Academy, and just introduce ourselves to the community for those who don't know us. Also, going in, I am like a proud dad to say we had a great recital, and in August it was our summer recital. We really had some students I was shocked about. I was really happy to see some of our students do what they did. They came in, they sung, they played, they performed in front of friends and family, and it was a great time. So shout out to all of the students who participated, and my staff who got everybody together. It was fantastic. I was proud. I had as you can see in the picture, I had my chest stuck out a little bit. We're very happy with a lot of things that did occur on that day, and with that recital, we're getting ready for our next one, and our next one is going to be in October. We're kind of talking about it now. We started in August talking about it, but in October, in time for the Halloween season, we're going to have another recital at Tupelo Music Academy. Looking forward to that. You can come out, get your boo bag. It's a safe environment. We're going to invite our community out. Some of our students will be performing at the location, but it's a safe place where you can come, get your boo bag, get your candy, get a little information. It's an open house, Halloween type situation at Tupelo Music Academy. Looking forward to that. You can get your information on Facebook at Tupelo Music Academy or TupeloMusicAcademy.com, or you can get it in our newsletter. It's going out. Come out that night and enjoy. So with that, I want to jump into tonight's podcast. I'm excited to have this young man on our Music is Life podcast. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce my brother, Mr. Lawrence McKenzie. Hey.
Hey, man. Thank you for having me. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm good, bro. I appreciate you coming out. When you first came on, it reminded me of those preachers that come in, they come from one
I,
service to the next.
I got my towel, doc. I got my towel, doc. And,
Hey,
and, and my wife just handed me my water, so I'm
yeah,
good.
man,
I'm
you
good.
come in wiping your face. Hey, I said, boy, you made me laugh, but I appreciate you coming right in from work
Yes, sir.
and being able to jump right in and do the podcast. So I definitely appreciate the time. So I got you here, and we're gonna jump right into some of the questions. Now I'm gonna kind of date myself because I've known this guy his whole life, and
Yes,
seeing
sir.
him come up. Um, before we get to that, for those who don't know you in the M tribe or just who will see us online, introduce yourself. Tell a little bit about yourself.
So, first off, again, thank you, Terrence, for having me on. My name is George Lawrence McKenzie Parks. All right, for those of you who really know me, but these days I'm going by Lawrence McKenzie, using it as a stage and artist name. So Lawrence McKenzie Music. You can find me on all platforms with that handle, Lawrence McKenzie Music. Um, Most people around here that grew up, they know me by Buddy. And so, especially in the music community, they know me by Buddy. But nevertheless, Lawrence McKenzie, that's who I am. Born and raised in Tupelo, Mississippi, graduated Tupelo High, grew up in the church. My father's a pastor, just like Terrence's father is a pastor. And as a matter of fact, they are the best of friends, his dad and my dad. And so we've had this long lasting, family connection all of our lives. And so, which is a wonderful thing. And so, yeah, I've been playing. I'm a bassist, really by trade. I'm a bassist, but I play piano, organ, keyboards. That's the kind of stuff that you have to learn how to do when you're a PK. Growing up in church, you're gonna have to figure
Yes,
something
Lord.
out. You got to do something. You know what I'm
Right,
saying? So that's why Terrence can play the drums and he can play, all of these other different instruments because we're gonna have to figure something out. You know what
right,
I mean? So uh, I can give you a good 2 and a 4 on a drum set. You know what I'm saying? If we got to make it through, I got you. We gonna make it through it. All right. Don't ask for no chops. Don't ask for me to dig in. All right. Can't do that. All right. We're gonna keep it straight. We're gonna be in time. We're gonna lock it
right.
too.
Hey,
So
hey, that's what pays though. Keep it in the pocket. That's
that's
what
a
pays.
hey man, pocket get you paid, man. I'm trying to tell you. Yes,
Well,
sir.
I, I with that, it's funny because I didn't even really think about it often, but we had to jump on stuff, and even now, uh, tracks, AI, all the stuff you got to add into your service, you got to
Hmm.
do that too. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
it's a part of it, but it's definitely built the both of us, and like you said,
Most
our
definitely.
fathers are the best of friends, and we've been around each other. So getting into that, it
Hmm.
was like for me seeing you. It was one day I was kind of seeing you singing. Then the next
Hmm.
thing I know, um, my brother-in-law Chris Parks, who you know was telling me and you were playing, and then I saw you playing, and it was just like you had went from one level to the next so fast. So tell about your journey. How did you get started? Because those are things I've never really heard you talk about.
Well, yeah. So come from a musical background, so all of my, a lot of my family plays or sings, but I'm actually the only person in my immediate family that actually plays an instrument. So out of all my brothers and sisters, everybody, sings and can hold a tune, but I'm the only one that can play. But growing up, that's what I did. I was a singer. Um, but my mom, she saw something else in me at an early age. And so she started me out uh, taking piano lessons, 5, 6 years old. Like I'm very young playing piano, but I didn't really care for it. I just did it because that's what she told me to do. You know what I mean? So I think a
Yeah.
lot of kids do that, often because my mom tells me, to do something. So I do it to try to make her happy. Although I mean, I had a strong liking to music, obviously. So it wasn't, hard to get me to do it. It just wasn't the thing that I wanted to do. I wanted to play the drums. I wanted to be a drummer, like legit wanted to be a drummer.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And and right now, I mean, if we had an air drum competition, I know I would win. Cause I mean, air drums is my thing, bro. I mean,
Okay.
I'm gonna show you how real it is.
Okay.
I mean, I got sticks in the pack ready right now. It's still a passion. You know what I'm saying?
Man,
You know what I'm
man,
saying?
man.
So I mean, that's what I wanted to do, and that didn't really work out because I got a cousin who's about 3 months older than me, who is absolutely amazing on drums, and he just took the cake. And his name is Jannars Carruthers, by the way.
Yes, yes,
And
yes.
this young man just took the cake and he just went on and he just zoomed and he beat all my grandmama's pans up, and that's just what we did. We played church on the front porch, at grandma's house, and that's just kind of how it was. And grandma used to tell us all the time, y'all better stop playing with the Lord. He's
Right.
gonna hit you one day. And it did, and it got on us. And that just, how we were brought up. And as far as you mentioned your brother-in-law, Chris, he's a heavy influence on my life. Definitely musically. They wouldn't let me play with them. They wouldn't let me play music with them starting out because I didn't have a role. I wasn't really good on keys. You know what I'm saying? At that particular time, because I didn't really take, any serious interest in it. And I wanted to be the drummer, but that role was filled. And so I wasn't really into guitar, like electric guitar at the time. But bass started sticking out. And it started sticking out because Chris was just a phenomenal on the bass. And I really I still to this day look up to my big cousin, and I mean, the guy is just, I still to this day, I tell him right now, man, I ain't heard a tone on bass like yours. Like, dude, it's just, and I've heard a lot of people, been a lot of places across seas and everything. But that guy, man, he's phenomenal. So about the age of 10, I started playing bass about the age of 10, and I practiced and I practiced and I practiced, and it's gotten me to where I am today. And so, I'm not the greatest, but I do try, and I do try to do the best that I can. So
Well,
that's basically my musical drum journey, man.
well, I'm gonna say this. Lawrence is being very modest. Uh, Phenomenal musician. Period. Um, I had a chance to bring you on a couple gigs. Always professional. Always on point. Knows the music inside and out. Not only did he know his parts, he knew everybody's parts. And that, I've been around a few guys who could do that, and you're one of the ones. Your tone now between my brother-in-law, my own brother, and y'all and you,
Uh-huh.
and one, I don't know if you ever heard him play, Larry Miller, Pastor Miller's brother.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I, I could close my eyes. I know all four of y'all, and y'all
Yeah.
have distinctive tone patterns. So yeah, uh, very when you can do that, that's it. I ain't gonna get off in there because we get talking about.
Yeah.
So I'm finna jump into something else because we were talking about originality and folks sounding the same. Y'all don't. None of y'all sound the same, but all four of y'all thumping.
Listen, I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. Like, if I sounded like Chris Parks, I would not be mad. All right, I would not be mad. You know what I'm saying?
Man,
That's my
yeah,
guy. Yeah.
yeah. Chris influenced a lot of people. He influenced my own brother. And
Yep.
before Matt could play, I would call Chris. Hey, I got to play over here, and that's when it was me, Andrew Craig, and we bring Chris, and Chris would come with a t-shirt and a towel on his, and man, wear that daggum bass out. Oh my God,
He
Chris,
rough, man. He's
yeah,
rough.
rough. Well, with that, so you said some things that is pertinent. One, you
Hmm.
said your mom got you early into piano lessons because she saw
Hmm.
something in you. That's
Right.
something that we talk about a lot in our writings, in our videos, in our newsletter, and just talking in general. When you see something in your child, it's time to put something on there because I know with your mom, my mom saw things in us. She imparted things into us and said, okay, you do this, do that. I want you to do this, do that. Um, then another thing you said was about taking the time to practice because that is a big thing that we
Yeah.
deal with at the academy. Kids they want to sound good, but they
Yep.
don't want to practice. Um,
Yep. Yep.
I had a conversation with a young saxophonist today, and he came in, and his teacher came to me and said, hey, he ain't doing this. This is not working. So I brought him into the office, and I was like, hey, man, I said, I play just about every day. If it's 10, 15 minutes, I'm gonna pick up my instrument and play. So you got to practice, man. You got to put in the time. So
Hmm.
speak on that. What was your practice regimen starting and what is it now?
So, like I said, man, when I first started out, I was married to it. You know what I'm saying? Like I that's all I had. I didn't do anything else. My dad would come in the room and I would be asleep, and he would take my bass and put it up for me because I went to sleep in the bed, with the bass with me, in the bed. So, uh, nowadays, my practice regimen looks a whole lot, different because life has changed. But even through high school and through college, I would put hours of practice in, uh, because I knew if I was going to be as good as the guy that I heard on the record or the guy that I idealized, like I had to put the time in. You know what I'm saying? And so, yeah, man. For most people, a healthy practice regimen looks like an hour a day. You know, a healthy practice regimen looks like an hour a day. Most people who are really, really skilled and really, really, gifted on their instrument, they put 2, 3, and 4 hours a
Yes.
day into their practice. Man, I wish I had that time.
Me
Man,
too.
man, I wish I had that time.
Well, I'll say this. I'm getting back to that time. But it's ebbed and flowed over the years, and I understand. When you work in ministry, then you try and do business, and you got family, you got kids, and so
Yeah,
life changes.
yeah.
But I really like what you said. You got to put
Hmm.
in the time, and
Hmm.
I remember Quadra saying the same thing. He would go sleep with his playing at the keyboard, sleep on the keyboard. Um,
Exactly. I
um,
saw it.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Or
yeah.
just to come in and play for hours. Because I've been
Hmm.
in there with him or Chris Hatchett, and they would play 5, 6 hours and not play the same thing twice.
That's all they did. That's
Yeah,
all they did.
just
Yeah,
play. And it was like,
yeah,
all right, Ben, we're gonna do this. We're gonna do this, and it's just rolling, rolling, rolling.
yeah,
But
yeah.
we were blessed that we were brought up in a time where church gave us a lot of time to figure it out.
Hmm.
So let's jump into some of the influences because I know everybody who knows me in my inner circle knows that church is one facet. But could you go into the different facets from church to wherever that influenced you in your music?
Yeah. So I mean, obviously, like I said, growing up, like we're talking about now, church was huge. But just being in school, Tupelo Public School District, I know growing up, I'm not really tied in at this point. to what's happening, in the school district at this point. But when I was coming up, man, it was huge on the arts. It was really big on the arts. Um, and so, and I know Tupelo is still doing some wonderful things. Like I said, I'm just not, engulfed in it at
Yeah,
this point.
yeah. I get
Uh,
what you're saying.
yeah, so I was in choir my from starting from fifth grade at Milam. At the time, Milam was fifth and sixth grade. I think it's only sixth grade now. I was in choir from fifth grade all the way to 12th grade. I skipped ninth grade because I wanted to play football and I thought I was going to be. I idolized Joe Horn, and so I wanted to be Joe. So
Gotcha.
I thought I was going to play football, and I got hit one good day, and I said, "Hey, coach, I know what I can do,
Right.
and this ain't it. This
Mm-mm.
ain't it. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying?" I wanted to be Joe Horn and Chris Parks now because I wore a Shannon Red Raider jacket to Tupelo Middle School one day.
Oh
It was
Lord, no, you didn't.
the worst decision I ever did. I wore,
No, you didn't. For
Nah.
real.
Yes, Peter gave me his Letterman jacket. I was in eighth grade. I never forget it. I wore it to Tupelo Middle School one day, and they looked at me like I was absolutely stupid. Like, and
Man.
I was for that. I was
Yeah,
for that.
yeah,
I
yeah,
was
yeah.
for that.
You wrong. You wrong.
Yeah, I was wrong for that. I was wrong for that. But that's okay though. That's okay though. I love my big cousin, but nah, man. So, like I said, fifth grade, I was choir all the way through. I had the opportunity to do ACDA honor choir in seventh grade, which took me and my family to Orlando, Florida. I think it was a choir of 250 of the best voices from around the nation in my age group. And to do that, in seventh grade. You know what I'm saying? I'm probably like 12 years old or something like that. To do that at that age, man, that was huge for me. It was a huge opportunity. Um, then I went on and I did structure,
Yeah.
which is yeah the because I know Matt was in structure too. I think your brother
What
was.
the first year they did horns, they called me back from. I think I was in ICC then, and I did
Uh-huh.
it. I did structure then, so I know about what you're talking about.
Yeah. So I did structure, which is the band, the live instrumentation for wave connection and sound wave. But again, all of that stuff has changed since I was there. I graduated in '05, so I'm coming up on 20 years being out of Tupelo, public school. Um,
Oh
and
yeah, I
I
don't want to
know,
get talk
yeah.
about numbers because I'm
And
coming up
so
on 30.
Ooh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. So that really put a lot of it instilled a lot in me. It helped me a whole lot to kind of see where I wanted to go. A huge factor is one of my teachers, my music teachers. His name was Dr. Quint Harris, and man, he really instilled a lot in me. He actually told me about the college that I would go to later, which is Berklee College of Music. I never knew about it. He told me about it, and he said because he came to do tryouts, auditions for the ninth grade choir when I was in eighth grade. I was leaving Tupelo Middle, and I was doing the auditions and all of that. And he said, "You ought to look into Berklee College of Music." Gave me some information. I checked it out, and I was sold on it from there. And God blessed me to be able to have that experience, to be able to go to Berklee College of Music.
Man,
Uh,
yeah.
and I mean, I've got a gajillion stories about that experience, how it really changed my musical trajectory.
What?
So,
Well, give me one because when I heard that you were going to Berkeley, I was so proud because that was a school that I wanted to go to and experience,
mhm.
even if it was like 1 year just to be there.
Yeah,
Give me
yeah.
one story out of Berkeley.
Well, I mean, I guess probably the biggest thing is, the professors. that are there are people that are industry standard people, people that you see on award shows, you hear on records. They're on these tours. Like these are the people they've done. I'm talking about like Grammy, award winning, platinum selling. These are the type of people that are teaching you on a day-to-day basis. But not only that, your peers, the people who you are around, a lot of those people that you make connections with, if they haven't already done certain things, like I met one young lady that was a really good friend of mine. When she got to Berkeley, she had already done John Legend's House of Blues at the age of 18, singing background for him. And so she was already plugged into the industry just as just a,
Mm,
regular person, you know what I'm saying,
man,
but she was already in at such an early age. And so to get to meet people like this that have those types of connections, man, it's huge.
man.
It's
Uh,
huge. So
well, well, I think with that, I think sometimes we don't know what's around, and young students come to that I've been around, and I would show them and hey, have you ever thought about this? Because when I was coming up, there was a couple things we just did not know, and
hmm
had I known certain things, looking back, I would have
hmm
definitely jumped on the opportunity. Because if you don't do anything, one connection leads to another, and being in that environment inspires you not only to be better but to be
hmm
professional. Um, so in that mentorship, because you've done both roles, and now you're in a different role, like you said earlier, different role in your life. Uh, in your mentorship, how are you seeing young musicians now coming up?
well, the biggest thing for me is young musicians today are highly talented, uh, overly stimulated as it relates to you know what they're getting, their access to creativity. Um, we didn't have YouTube. When I got to Berkeley, YouTube was just being invented, basically.
Right,
Uh, and so all we had were records and the radio, you know. And so we didn't have something, that we could go to on the computer and, it teach us. We
right,
had tapes and DVDs, VHS, DVD. That's all we
hmm
had. You know what I'm saying?
and tear
And
them up.
so and tore them up, man, tore them up, rewinding them
Hmm.
back, because that's all we had. And so it's different in that regard. It doesn't make it any, it doesn't discount it, doesn't lessen it or anything. It just says that we had to get it another way. You know what I'm saying? It's just another way we had to get it. But these young people are highly talented, highly skilled. Man, it's some things that these young cats doing now with the technology that they have.
Right.
And I'm sitting up here scratching my head like I didn't mess around and got old, ain't it? Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, I need to come on and I it's some cats around town that are like the goats. You know what I'm saying? Right here where we are. Like, you
Right.
know, Mike Vaughn, James Judon, you know what
Right.
I'm saying? The Zens,
Right.
and hearing them, call us the young cats back in the day, like I can see now from where I am, like their position, like what they were thinking. Like James will tell you, man, I gotta get what y'all young cats doing. You know what I'm saying? And now I'm seeing what James,
Yep.
you know
Yep.
what I'm saying? Like, or like, I gotta get what these young cats doing, like,
Man,
because
yeah.
they're doing some stuff,
They
man. You know what I'm
are.
saying?
And
Yeah, they doing some stuff.
that's why I used to hear mom say, I'm always be around young people. I'm always be around young people. She said,
Yeah,
I don't want to get where I ain't doing something. She's like, now I might not do everything they gonna do. She said, but I want to glean something. So you right.
yeah,
Um, I know that uh, at this point right now, I know I'm not the young buck.
Uh-huh.
That's over with, and I'm good
Nah,
with
yeah,
that.
it's something that
Yeah,
them days they do.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and I'm good with that. The beauty of it is, like you just said, I do try to
Uh-huh.
key in, especially with the new things that are coming out, the AI, the apps, whatever. I'm trying to
Hmm.
stay as relevant because that'll lead me to a question I do want to ask you. With things changing, because things have changed so much in the last 5 years,
Right.
we'll say this during COVID. Where do you see, and I know it's a broad question, but where do you see music going for you?
So yeah, that's a great question. Thank you for asking. So I'm actually working on new music right now. I have some music. Hopefully, it'll be coming out probably in the next month or so. A new single entitled "What You Want Me to Be."
Okay.
And so, yeah, man. So this the first leak right here, man. I'm dropping it right here. Nobody knows. I dropped it hot off the press on the Music Is Life podcast. Right?
Well, you know what? That
Yeah.
means we got to drop it this podcast when your music come out. So,
I appreciate that. I appreciate that. So that's where it is for me, man. I'm working on that kind of stuff. Working on some worship events that I have coming up in November 2nd and 3rd. I'll be doing. God placed on my heart to do like a community wide worship event entitled "Worship at the Well." Last year we did one day. This year we're gonna go 2 days. It was on my heart last year to be in the park at Gumtree Park in Tupelo.
yeah.
But we were unable to do it last year, and this year we're able to do that. Got everything secured, and we're planning and putting things together now. So you guys will be seeing some more information about that very soon.
Yeah.
But that's what music is for me, man.
Well, I'll say this: everything that you talked about and where we can find you, we're going to link that in the description. We're going to put that out. And I generally don't do. I try to do evergreen dates, but being that you getting ready to do this music, I got to put you out right when you get ready to do that.
Man, I appreciate it, man.
Because anytime you put out music, I've always supported it, and it's always been a blessing. And I
Thank you.
know we haven't had a lot of opportunities of late to get a chance to play because you're very busy and I'm busy, and we just kind of miss each other. And we missed each other last Sunday because I got the dates wrong. But anyway, uh, we're gonna work that out. We're gonna work that out.
Yes,
Um,
sir.
the last question I would like to ask is, of course, the Music Life podcast is for families,
Right.
and we are advocates of music excellence and performance and training. Um, for those out there who are seeking to learn or to develop their skills, what advice would you give them if you could? Looking back over your time, what would you give your younger self or young musicians coming up?
For I'm talking to the younger me, I'm saying to myself, be focused. Um, don't allow someone if you call me. uh,
You,
I'm saying I'm saying to myself, I'm saying be focused. I'm saying, make sure you're doing what it is that you know is right to do. Do what it is that you know you've been called to do. And that's good advice for any young person, because it's very easy to get distracted. It's very easy to look out in the world and see what other people are doing and see the things that's going on around you and want to be a part and focus on that. And so I think that it's very important for each and every person that has some type of skill set, some type of gift, to remain steadfast in that. Know what God called you to do. Be true to yourself. Be true to thine own self. You know, don't try to be nobody else. Be true to you. So from my younger self to you, that's what I would say. Just be true to yourself. Focus, man. Focus is the key. That's the only way you're gonna make it. And discipline, but focus is discipline. So
Hey, I
yeah,
love that. I love that because, when
yeah.
you do lose track, you get off. You're not looking at the goal. It takes you longer to get to where you need to go,
Hmm.
um, and you got
Hmm.
to be focused. I love that. This has been a great interview. We've had some good stories, nice fun. Really, I could go another 30 minutes because, buddy, you said some stuff, man. You made me laugh, but. Um, I
Man, I love
appreciate
it, man. Let's talk. I'm here.
you. Hey, don't worry. We definitely gonna have you back. And hope just I appreciate you coming on tonight,
Hmm.
sharing some gems with our M tribe. We're gonna end it tonight, but don't go nowhere. You just hold on. We're gonna end it
Yep.
tonight. Again, we thank Mr. George Lawrence McKenzie Parks, a true music master, for being a part of the Music is Life podcast. Um, he has some new music coming out, and we're going to list all of his information in the description below. Just going back, I appreciate him for being on. Again, remember September the 30th, our grand opening. The community is definitely invited out. We, we want to celebrate. It is a We've been blessed this year, and with my family, my friends, the parents, the staff, the students, we want to celebrate on that day. And then October the 26th, come out, get your boo bag. Candy is going to be in a safe environment. It's going to be at the Tupelo Music Academy location at 1186 Cliff Gookin Boulevard, Suite A in lovely Tupelo, Mississippi. This is your boy Terrence Cummings, aka the Music Master. This is Music is Life podcast, brought to you by Tupelo Music Academy and Team Music Masters. Y'all be blessed.